Happy Wednesday, kindergarten. Can you believe it's Wednesday already? It is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, and we are working with reading books and our opinions. It was so great to see your piles yesterday. I loved it. So many of you had more books that you would recommend than not recommend, and I love that too. You are really becoming very, very strong readers. And remember what I told you, there are people whose job is just to recommend books. So when you're talking to a friend and you've read something, maybe give it a recommendation. And if you didn't like it, you don't have to either. When we do opinions, we use special words, and I know that Mrs. Mariani talked to you about some of those words, and I know she had shown you some emojis. I want to go over some of those words with you today. Here are some words that might come up when you are talking about opinions. People lots of times say, "Oh, I loved that." Love is a very strong opinion word. I feel really strongly about it. I liked it a lot. Another one might be, it's gross, especially if you're reading something in nonfiction or you're reading something about maybe how a snake can swallow a mouse whole. You might go, that's gross. That's your opinion. Exciting. Some books are so exciting, especially if you're reading and you're like, oh, I wonder if the ginger man is going to get caught. He's on the edge. So exciting. And other words might be like strange. Why did he do that? Are frustrating. Sometimes when I read to kindergartners about Little Red Riding Hood, they get frustrated that she keeps going into the woods where she's not supposed to go. And they say, why does she go there? That's so frustrating. I don't know why she does that. Silly. I love books that are silly. And I love when a character acts silly, like in the Pigeon books. I think Pigeon is very silly, especially when he goes, please. And sometimes a book can be boring. It might have too many words, and it might be like, and I find that it's boring. There are some books that Mrs. Frio doesn't like, and there's some books that I love. All part of my opinion. So yesterday I asked you to put your books into two piles. A pile you would recommend, and a pile you wouldn't recommend. Today I'm going to ask you to do something a little bit more detective-y. I'm going to ask you to stretch your opinion a little bit more. What I'm going to ask you to do is, I'm going to ask you to find a book and a Post-it or a small piece of paper. I picked Skeleton Hiccups. This is one of my favorite books. I bring it out every Halloween. I think it's so funny because it's about a skeleton and he hiccups. And you're going to see that I've already have some of those Post-its popping out. And your task today is to find a page that you have a strong opinion about. Could be a good opinion, could be a bad opinion. And this is my opinion. This is my favorite page. I'm going to hold it really close so you can see it. Eat some sugar. I think it is so silly that he has the hiccups and he's trying to eat some sugar. And I think it's silly because the sugar is just pouring out of his mouth. Can you see that? Look, pouring out of his mouth because he doesn't have any body to put it in. So I made an emoji of silly. I think it's silly. If you want to write out some words, I think it's silly when the skeleton eats sugar because it falls through his body. Or you could just put a picture and say, or you can just put a picture. So you have lots of choices, lots of things that you can choose for your opinion. I'll show you one more. I had another book that was a nonfiction book. And again, you can see my tabs. And before I even tell you why I think it's what I think, I'm just going to show you my Post-it. And see if you can guess what my opinion of this chameleon's tongue was. Amazing! That chameleon's tongue can reach so far and it's so stretchy. I think that's amazing. So in this one, I didn't write any words. I just put my picture of my Post-it and the face that I wanted it to say. I thought that was an amazing fact. So that's what your task is today. Go back to your book piles from yesterday. Find a book. Challenge yourself. Find two. Get a little piece of paper. It could be a Post-it. It doesn't have to be a Post-it. And draw a face or write a word or you could write a sentence about what your opinion is about one part of the book. Remember, not the whole book, just one part. I can't wait to see what your opinion is on some of these books. You're such good readers. Happy readers on this Wednesday, my kindergarten friends. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Can't wait to see your